always use promoting that only in the city.
If I had that answer, that's a very tough question. And to be quite honest, you can't. So you have to educate students. You have to give them the consequences. You have to check. Because there are things that we will do more assertive. I'm not asking that my team becomes aggressive, but we will become assertive. Because if you live in the dorms or in a building that the university controls or leases, Campus Corner, UV, the staff is authorized to check your rooms for health and welfare reasons. And we will do that. I'm telling you, we will do that. We're authorized to do it, and we will do that on campus as well as those locations that we completely lease off campus. So we will be vigilant. I talked about stepping up joint patrols. You may see random car checks coming through the gate, very random. You know, we certainly don't have the manpower to check every car, but it may be this day, maybe every 10th car, every 5th car that we're going to check. So we will become assertive with our enforcement until everyone knows that we're here about education and the safety of all of you. Because that's my goal, not to punish anyone, but to keep you safe so that you can enjoy your college experience, but do it safely and graduate. Any other questions? Any questions for Dr. Evans, Dr. Jackson, Chief Taylor, Mr. Watson? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, but it's specific to the freshman class. So I know that a lot of the freshman females want to know what they can have on campus in the future.
Okay, y'all.
Listen up so you hear the answer. The question was, what is legal to have on campus to protect yourself? And
they can't have no tasers. They can't have no knives. They can't have any mace, any brass knuckles, stuff like that.
All right, y'all. Y'all not gonna be able to hear what he's saying if y'all are talking. Just listen, please.
So they can't have none of that kind of stuff like that. So I suggest that y'all stick together in groups, walk together, make sure y'all hold each other accountable, get y'all friends to different places on campus to make sure y'all safe. Y'all know as well as I know that y'all can call my office at any time and we will respond and assist y'all whatever y'all need.
yes. Listen up, guys, please.
They don't feel comfortable walking with a group of men because, you know, not all boys have the right intentions for running people. So, how do you suggest them to take themselves if they don't walk with them all the time?
So I would suggest that they walk with a group of females and like the president said, if they need assistance to get around campus, I don't care what time of night it is, they can call the police department. I will send them officers there to transport them to their dorms.
So we will have safety rides on campus for anyone that needs a ride on campus. We're just purchasing additional vehicles just for that. And we'll currently use the one that we have until the new ones come in. I saw Mr. Yes, sir.
So, on the flip side of that, whether it be enhancement for security checks when coming on campus, because depending on who's at the gate, I may not get checked for my ID, displayed on my face. I'm sure that's why you have to allow it.
Right. So certainly additional enhancements coming on campus, and we're public university. We're not a closed university. The other public colleges in South Carolina are wide open. Even Claflin is somewhat open with their dorms on Gulf Avenue. So we're a public university, so although we can't physically check every ID that for safety for anyone, at the gates will also be license plate readers. So when a car comes on the base, on the campus, off the campus, we can read those license plates, and if there are warrants for those persons in those cars, we will know that, and then we will alert the appropriate authorities. So we're looking at reading license plates, checking license, and getting scanners so that we can make the checking IDs a lot faster. But that's a great question. Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the event that the campus has to go back on lockdown, what are the students that are trying to get on campus supposed to do? Because last night we were told kind of sit in the parking lot and say, well, I don't even know.
Yes, when I got here, I saw that, and I spoke with Chief, and going forward, if you're off campus and the event is off campus, we'll allow you on campus to your dorms. If you're on campus, we will keep you locked on campus because we don't want you heading towards the incident. So yes, that's a great question. 1 o'clock this morning, you should be coming back on campus, but we still have the outbound lockdown.
And they will be checking for your ID, and if you don't have your ID, they will actually allow you to know.
And the other thing that we've got to do, we've got a, especially with our new freshmen, we have a RAID Guardian Alert that you download the app where you get the instant messages about locking down and then the lockdown being lifted, whether it's class cancellation, whether it's bad weather. But if you haven't downloaded the RAID Guardian app, please do so. And some parents want that as well. So if your parent wants to be on the Guardian Radiant app so that they get the same alerts that you get, please share with your parents how to download that app so that they can get the same information. Yes. Please listen up.
Yes, sir. So in reference to you saying about the RAB alert, just knowing my generation, to be honest, we kind of lazy. So we may not want to download it or use that as an option to keep up with alerts. So just to ask you, what is another way that students can access certain contacts when there is an emergency? Because I know we got a lot of freshmen and working in residence life, we have a lot of students that are concerned about whom to contact. So is there another option that students can have aside from the RAB alert that we could possibly use for students to?
Well, currently that is the mechanism now, but I have asked a question. I'm waiting on some answers tomorrow. How do we go to a complete text platform where every student, every parent text your number to opt in for all of our safety messages, and then when you graduate, when you leave, when you get tired of hearing from me, you opt out. So that's the next thing that we would do in addition to the RAID Guardian app. You're right, you got it. It takes some time to set it up, but I want to go to a complete text-based alert system without having to download the app. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I feel like the big elephant in the room today is when the young lady asked about MACE. And I just want to ask the chief if that's just like a state rule or what, because I know that other state universities that aren't here in Orangeburg but at other places are just, I mean, they're in the middle of cities or what have you. So I don't want you to have this sense of like it's just South Carolina State, because it's not. It's everywhere. It's no matter where you go to college. But I want to know about the MACE. I mean, I didn't understand. I didn't realize that in South Carolina, women are not supposed to have MACE. Is that it, or what's the rule? Because it would be South Carolina, not just.
Listen up.
My understanding, that's a rule in the university. Like, for instance, like we had a
Oh, it's a university.
Listen up.
So like, for instance, we had a fight last year, and female students got into a fight, and it makes other students took advantage of the student. So that's one of the reasons why they don't allow them to carry mace.
Oh, okay.
So that's a weapon.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that is something that needs to be, I don't know.
We'll take a look at it. As I always say,
Right.
if it's a state rule or federal rule, I can't change it. But if it's a university rule, I will certainly take a look at it and see whether it still makes sense today as it did whenever it was put into place. So we'll take a look at that. Yes, ma'am. No, who was that? Yes.
So learning base, so say if we're going somewhere off campus, like we don't carry it on campus with us, but it stays in our dorm because we go off campus. Is that all right? Like just to have it up in our room?
Currently, the rule is, and it may not be a great rule now. Currently, the rule is mace is not allowed on campus, but no one is coming to your dorm checking you for mace. And I understand the question, so allow me a couple of days, and everybody will get an email as to what the rules are.
And I think the rule has to do with how you use it. You can have it, but you cannot use it on another student as a weapon, but you can use it for your protection, if that makes sense. Listen up. Let us go back. We will send out the most current information, because what we don't want is folks having mace and just spraying it for fun in the dorms, in the dining facility. I think that's what she was talking about, using it on someone in a place, and that's what happens a lot, whether it's tasers or whether, so you can use it in self-defense if it's allowed. But I owe you an answer. So the same email you got today from the student leaders, you will get tomorrow updating that information. Yes. Can you step up just a little bit? Yes. Each situation is different. You must be aware of your surroundings and who you're with to make those determinations. Every situation is situationally dependent. So it depends on where you are. If you're with people you know, it might be one thing. If you're with people you don't know. But we all have that sense when something is going to happen. So, but I will tell you, in a simple form, if you're around a bunch of young people who are drinking, arguing, if there's marijuana around or worse, that's the warning. You don't need to be there. Yes, ma'am. Listen up.
Okay, guys. One of the things that the president said earlier was that he was going to make sure he's actually the staff, everybody's on your side. And so one of the things to keep you safe is we live in a gated community, which is a beautiful thing because most state universities are not gated. We have an advantage that we live in a gated community. So very seldom do we have issues when students have events on campus. And so the president said earlier, and I don't want to repeat everything he said, but he did voice that he was going to implement some additional safety people as well as allow you all to have fun on campus, stay longer, have things open longer, things like that are student focused versus having you guys out in the community where it might not be as safe. So I don't want this takeaway to be that, because we live on a gated community. And quite frankly, we're going to be good, guys. We're going to be good. We're going to work with everyone so that the students will be able to learn and live on this campus.
Any other questions or suggestions? comments, Dr. Evans? Dr. Jackson, Chief? If there's no questions, we'll close out. But if you got some personal questions you want to ask any of us one-on-one, we'll take those.
Y'all, can y'all please be respectful while he's talking? Please?
So again, it's not my intent to enforce rules on you so that you can't have fun as a college student the same way we did. But it is my intent to ensure for yourself and for your family members that you're safe. And to do that sometimes there's a little inconvenience. Just like traveling now through airports. It's not like it used to be. Let's face it. Again, we know that guns are prevalent everywhere. And I need your help. I need your help. If you see something, say something. Help keep your buddies safe. We love you all here. We want all of you to enjoy your experience here at South Carolina State. Yes, ma'am.
How is it so easy for locals to get on campus, so we get such a hard time?
So, I have an answer for the locals. I don't have an answer as to why it's so hard for you to get on your own campus. But I will get that answer. Again, we are an open public university, and it's almost illegal to keep them off, to keep anyone off. So how do you determine between a local and someone from Spartanburg that just comes on campus? So again, but if you're having a hard time getting on campus, then we need to work with that and ensure that you are having universities.
And I'll tell you something else. I'll see when y'all mentioned about the locals. Like last Saturday, I believe I went out to the gate, worked the gate with the gate personnel. And in every other car, we got students bringing locals in the car to go hang out with them on campus. So what we did was turn them around, the ones that had those locals in the car, and tell them they can't come on the campus. Because we had a lot going on that night. So that's some of the reasons we come right on campus.
You're right, and a lot of times they are invited. They are invited guests. And sometimes if something is happening, we're able to turn them away. But what we can do is when we have functions on campus in SHM or Dukes, is we can make it a ID-only event where they can't come in there, and we can expand that to Claflin students if we want to, but we can have events like that. So again, I think with our additional cameras, these locals who, or anyone, not just locals, that you can, not just locals, but anyone who's on this campus who means no good to this campus, whether they're local or from someplace else, whose intent is to harm our students, faculty, or staff, that's physically or stealing or robbing or anything like that, it's our intent to serve them notice that they won't be tolerated on this campus, and if they're caught, they're going to jail. Yes, ma'am.
So this is more a suggestion, because I know for freshman girls and freshman boys, a lot of the reason they're going off campus is to get food, because the cab or the pit is closed. So is there a possibility that we can start doing late night cabs, where the cabs will be open later so that freshmen girls and boys, or everybody?
I'll certainly take a look at it. Thank you, Madam President. That's why we all voted for you. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Thank you.
So I do have a quick question. So when it comes to the security, them facing the cars, how do you go about it with all the people who walk through behind the security? How can you really necessarily see who? I know that locals come on campus, but what about people that just do not look like they belong at all? How can you go about, like, what if there's somebody who's coming trying to get on campus, and rather than driving on campus, they can't get on driving, so now they just walk on campus? How do we get about not letting them on campus?
And again, that's why we're hiring
those 6 personnel will be on board 1 September. So again, solely to help campus police when they see those suspicious people, whoever they might be, to call campus police so campus police can pull up, ask to see their ID, determine whether they should be on this campus or not, and then make the appropriate decisions. Yes, sir.
We have a question from social media asking about the additional security measures at Campus Corner and at University Village and what we're doing there.
Yes, those 2 locations are under joint jurisdiction by the county. So if something happens, the county will respond. But also this year, the university will respond. The university will patrol. We'll make roving patrols as well. And this year, unlike a few years ago, we have CAs in all of those locations as well to assist again. And again, even with our new security officers, we'll also be responsible for driving around those areas too, as eyes and ears for campus police and for the county. Yes.
How are random projects going to help with people that are like students and other authorized personnel? How is that going to help when there are people that are just bringing revenue off campus, just sneaking in their homes? Because I've had people that have lived with in the past that have done that, and it's been a serious situation for us.
There's no 100% solution. We certainly can't check every car, so that's why I need your help. I need students' help. If you bring in folks on that shouldn't be here, and if you got a roommate that's doing it, tell your roommate, listen, this isn't right. You know, I need, without getting in an argument, without getting in a fight, but you know, everyone here knows somebody who's doing something stupid. And we're continuing to let them be stupid in a no stupid zone. So that's where I need your help. Because we aren't going to be able to, just like no other university in the country, none can check every car, every time. So we can do random checks, we can hire additional police officers, we can have our alert, ready, guardian alerts, but we can't do it solely by ourselves. We need your help to be our eyes and ears. Yes, ma'am.
So what are we supposed to do when we report these people and nothing happens? Because that's exactly what happened last time. That's why I'm asking you the question.
Well, you didn't state that. You didn't state that. So if you reported that nothing happened, then if you reported to campus police, if nothing happens, campus police works for Dr. Jeffrey Jackson. That's the next step. You reported to campus to Dr. Jackson.
Yeah.
Dr. Jackson, nothing happened. Then it's to me. But certainly if you, and then sometimes you don't see things that happen. Sometimes you may report someone, they may check that person out, they run warrants on them, there's no warrants on them, and there's no reason that person can't be on campus, so we can't put that person on campus. So again, I appreciate your vigilance, but if you report something, please follow up, and I'm available if you're thinking that folks aren't responding to you. Any other questions?
Is there a difference?
Listen up, please.
Is there a difference, or is there a proper protocol that students are supposed to go through that they want to bring guests on campus, or is anybody who's not attending South Carolina State not allowed on campus?
No. Now that you can bring guests on. There are rooms for the dorms, and we're not saying that's what we're saying. We're not saying that non-students can't come on this campus because they can. It's an open campus just like every other state university. There are some events that they may not be able to get into if it's a student-only event. But you can have guests on the campus. But we need you as students to be cognizant of the guests that you bring on.
Okay, so how do we go about interacting with the guard at the gate about getting our guests on campus if they don't have a South Carolina State ID?
That's all I'll pass on to them. But keep in mind, if you bring your guests on, you're responsible for your guests. You can't have your guests walking with you, staying overnight and all that kind of stuff. So we've seen a lot of that last year, so we're going to address that also. But if you bring your guests on, you're responsible for your guests.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
In terms of security
students and say, that's a great question. That's a great question. We don't know. There's no line. Because you're right, everyone has what's suspicious to you may not be suspicious to someone else. What we see as, and we, if you're not from Orangeburg, refer to as locals, we have lots of students here who are local students from Orangeburg. They see folks from Orangeburg. We see locals that shouldn't be on campus. So it all depends on your perspective. And there's no answer I can tell you that person should be suspicious. You have to use your own judgment to determine whether that, and what reasons that might be. If not, then we know better than anybody else for profiling against people. So you have to be very careful when you talk about, locals, but certainly no one, local or not, are we going to allow to just come on this campus with the intent to hurt us, or anybody. Yes, ma'am.
Outside of safety, what about the halls that got microwaves and the halls that can't have microwaves or crock pots or like air fryers?
Listen up. Those of you who are making noise and have your microwave already, obviously she doesn't. So listen. Now this meeting is specifically for safety.
Don't talk over them.
Listen.
I wouldn't even talk over them.
This meeting is specifically for safety because we have so much going on right now. But there will be other town halls where we will address housing and parking and food and all of those things that you're talking about. So listen up, guys. Any other questions before we leave? Listen, thank you so much for coming. Your presence means a lot. Your safety means even more. I'm committed to doing more and more for safety. Send us emails, suggestions. If there's something that you wanted to say and you didn't say tonight, please get it to your SGA leadership and they will get it to us.